Unlock your dream property with Meeks Realty Group, where Rich the Realtor makes real estate dreams a reality. Whether it's residential or commercial, we've got Charleston to Huntington covered. Your key to exceptional real estate experiences start here. Meeks Realty Group. Contact us at meeks.us.
The views and opinions expressed on this program do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of 580 WCHS, its employees, or WVRC Media. From the studios of WVRC Media, the country, the United States of America, the state, West Virginia, the city, Charleston. This is the Dave Allen Show on 580 Live. And your host.
What we've got here is failure to communicate.
He's kind of a big deal.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubblegum.
Dave Allen.
Hey, folks, a good Thursday morning to you. Welcome to the show. Senior producer Ryan Nicholson in charge of things this morning. Bigly, Piggly, Wiggly hotline 304-345-5858. Tony the Taylor text 304-935-5008. We're in the Jarrett Construction Studios as we are every Monday through Friday at this time. Right on time, right on budget. Visit jarrett-construction.com. Phone calls to the show, a service of Bigly, Piggly, Wiggly on Spring Street. Texting services courtesy Tony the Taylor, Virginia Street. Some dates to remember. Tomorrow, the last day to order custom items for Christmas. November the 18th, the end of Bolt sale. You can save up to 50% off custom suits and jackets. Now, Tony's going to be closed, of course, Thanksgiving Day and the day after on Black Friday. He will be open, though, for Small Business Saturday, November the 29th. December the 4th is the Holiday Trunk Show. So lots going on. Check out bestmastertaylor.com or Tony's Facebook page if you like more information. Thursday edition of the show coming up a little bit later on. Delegate Hollis Lewis is going to stop by. We're going to catch up with him on several things. And, of course, we're going to talk about Tuesday's elections as well. Joe Stevens from the city of Nitro is here to talk about Saturday's one of the best titles ever, Waggin Tails and Nitro Ales, Chili and Beerfest. I'm in. Matter of fact, I'm going to be there, as a matter of fact. And I'll talk about that a little bit later on. And Joe will update us on some things going on. Of course, next Tuesday is Veterans Day. And as always, the city of Nitro just goes all out with a couple days of celebrations and remembrances for veterans. So we're going to talk to Joe Stevens about that. Also, coming up a little bit later on, we're going to tell you about some folks that are doing what they can to try to help those that are impacted by the SNAP benefit shutdown as well. So we got lots to get to this morning. But in between it all, your phone calls and texts are always welcome. Bigly, Piggly, Wiggly hotline 304-345-5858. Tony the Taylor text 304-935-5008. All right, esports. We hear all about it. I don't necessarily know what it is, but a couple of guys who do are going to join us because they got a big event going on in Charleston soon. Introduce yourself, fellows.
So I'm Isaac Colmer. I am the Esports Program Coordinator here at Element Edge. I did this straight out of high school. I graduated from GW 2025, and I started by playing competitive Smash Bros. It's a video game on the Nintendo Switch.
Ryan, by the way, is our gaming expert, our producer Ryan Nicholson. So so Ryan, you might want to grab the headphones because we might have some might have a space for you in here. He actually does a gaming report on Metro News Hotline from time to time. So go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but as soon as you said that, I watched Ryan.
Perk up a little bit.
Got all excited in here. So go ahead and finish. I'm sorry.
So I got this opportunity straight out of high school, just playing video games, and as the esports program coordinator here at Element Edge, I just want to see other people get the same opportunities that I have.
And what about you, sir? Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yes, sir. My name is Robert, and my title is esports coach. So I kind of assist with event coordination and planning, and as well as player development.
Esports coach. Now, what does that entail?
Well, just like with traditional sports, it takes practice and kind of like a building of muscle memory for the development of skill. Mm-hmm. And the same applies to esports. Learning how to space yourself, learning how to apply certain techniques in real time, that sort of thing.
And this thing is huge. I mean, and look, games have always been around. I'm a kid of the 1970s. I remember, when the Atari came out and television, all these things. But this is if you're an old guy like me, what you guys do is a totally different level.
It can appear as such. Yeah, it's more approachable than most people would think, probably.
And it's not just games, because this is, I mean, people are making a career on this sort of thing. Talk about that.
Correct. Yeah, absolutely. Esports in general is a multi-billion-dollar industry, and it's pretty fairly underdeveloped in Charleston, and we're working pretty hard to try to change that.
And that's why I wanted to have you guys on here to talk about this, because you got a big event coming up that's going to bring a lot of people into town, right? Well, at least that's the hopes, right?
Yeah. We're at a little bit more than 50 pre-registrants, and registration goes up today. And part of what I've been doing in this process, I just message all of these top players. We have, I think, 5 top 100 players on the planet coming here to Charleston.
On the planet?
On the planet.
Not from Cross Lanes or not from Campbell's
No.
Creek. I mean, on the planet are coming to Charleston.
Yeah,
Yes.
Some of the best players in the world will be here in Charleston just to compete. And that's kind of the beauty of esports. We can bring so many talented individuals together, and it just spawns from the passion for the games that we play.
So for people like me that are on the outside kind of looking at what's the appeal here other than just the competition? Because like you said, this is becoming like any other sport. I mean, this is golf, this is tennis, this is all of it, pickleball, whatever the hot thing is right now. This is all these things, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Just like in high-level traditional sports, onlookers can appreciate a level of skill that they can't seem to achieve themselves.
That's why people watch golf on television.
Exactly.
Or go to tournaments.
Yeah. I could do that one day,
and you realize, well,
no.
So you guys been gamers your whole life? I mean, or born basically with playing the games?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. If I didn't go with this path with the event coordination, I probably would have played for college, and it would have been similar to a traditional sports scholarship, almost a football scholarship. I'd be paid money to play for their esports team.
And this is what is fascinating to me about this. I sat in on a meeting in another previous job I had a couple of years ago, and people were talking. This wasn't a radio job, by the way. They were talking about this whole esports and it being a career. And it's like with any other sport. Okay, the chances of you making it big to the NFL, Major League Baseball, whatever, are pretty slim. But I mean, it happens, and it's happening right here in Charleston.
Yeah, and that is another thing that kind of separates esports from a traditional sport is the accessibility. Because whenever you look at something like the NFL, really everybody limits themselves of, I just have to be, physically gifted, and I have to put all these hundreds of hours of practice in. Whereas with esports, you don't just have to be a player. I myself, I'm an event coordinator. There is a whole production side to the events. There's a promotion side of the events.
Yeah.
There are a million different careers that you can find all in this little bubble, and it's so easily accessible.
And that's what was fascinating to me when I was doing a little bit of reading some of the information that was provided to me about this, is that it's not to downplay it, guys, but it's not just people sitting around playing games. I mean, these are careers, and universities, as you mentioned, universities now have esports teams.
Hundreds of universities, and in fact, here in West Virginia, we have the most developed the best esports program in Concord University in Athens, West Virginia. They were national champions like the past 3 years in a row.
Yeah,
they're the best esports program in the country.
I love it. And it's right here in West Virginia.
Right here in West Virginia.
We'll talk about this tournament you got coming up here and about the people that are coming in momentarily. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live is brought to you in part by Hudson's Pizza. This month, get a large 18-inch pepperoni pizza and an 8-inch chocolate chip cookie, $23.99. Check out your nearest Hudson's Pizza for delivery, dine-in, or pick up at Hudson'sPizza.com. I mentioned our producer, Ryan Nicholson, is a huge... Now, you guys will need to put the headphones on for this. I'm going to bring Ryan in here and give him an opportunity maybe to quiz you guys a little bit. Ryan, go ahead.
Sure. I was actually wondering... is this tournament going to be streamed anywhere, Twitch, YouTube, or is it solely in person?
So not only is it going to be streamed, we're actually going to have 2 streams. And on our main stream, we will be on KML Tournaments, which is the 3rd largest Smash Ultimate Twitch account that you can find. And on our side stream, we'll be doing what's called a quad stream, where there are 4 individual matches going on all in the same stream. So you can watch 4 different matches, and you can tune into both of those from home, yeah.
Nice. And is it just Smash Ultimate? Do you have Melee? Do you have any other fighting games?
So, yeah, we're just running Smash Ultimate for this iteration, but I play a lot of Tekken, I play a lot of Street Fighter.
Nice.
If the people want it, we will make it happen.
Nice.
Right.
Who's your main?
I play Wii Fit Trainer and
Nice.
Pit.
Nice. I'm a Samus main.
I think we'll see you there.
And that's why I brought Ryan in to talk about this. All right, talk about the tournament, the wins and wears, and all the stuff again.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to take place on November 15th, and we're located at the Element Edge on the west side of Charleston. That's 1611 4th Avenue. And if you are wanting to find more information, you can head to theelementedge.org and register there as well.
And how many people are you expecting to come in for this tournament? I mean, you mentioned it earlier, but just so people understand how big this is going to be, about how many people are you expecting? Because you got them coming from all over.
Yeah, so registration closes the 12th, and like I said, registration goes up tonight. So up until that point, like I said, we're over a little more than 50 entrants at the moment, and that includes talent. We have a player coming from Chile. We have a player coming from New York. We have a player coming from New Jersey. The talent spreads so far beyond the borders of West Virginia.
Yeah, an event like this has never taken place in Charleston. This is the highest level of competition that's ever been here.
And these people are going to come in, and they're going to spend money, and they're going to go eat, and they're going to stay in hotels, and that's what makes me happy.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
That's what makes people to CVB in the city of Charleston happy too. Yes. And I mean, really, we are really lucky to have this coming to Charleston, West Virginia, because nothing like this has ever happened before. Guys, I appreciate you being here, and Ryan, I appreciate you jumping in there as well. Ryan, I think you got a fan. Ryan, you going to take part in this? You going to go check it out?
I'll see if I can make it. Yeah.
All right, guys, I appreciate you being here. Thanks a lot. Hang out with me here just one second. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live is brought to you by the all-new Generations Ford of Hurricane, your family and locally owned Ford dealership. Ask about X-Plan discount pricing on the purchase of every new Ford. They're also offering 130% of Kelly Blue Book Fair Trade value for your vehicle. Visit today off the Hurricane exit or online at generationsford.com. One destination for every generation. Generations Ford. See dealer for details. Joe Stevens from the city of Nitro is going to join us a little bit later on, and we are going to talk to Delegate Hollis Lewis when we come back on the Voice of Charleston, WCHS.
The Dave Allen Show is presented in part by Generations Ford in Hurricane, part of the Eric J. Tarr family of businesses.
Poca Valley has proudly served the citizens of Roane, Kanawha, Putnam, and surrounding counties for over a century. As your trusted community bank, we're committed to building relationships and meeting your financial needs. And with the Poca Valley Visa card, you can enjoy competitive interest rates, no annual fees, and a rewarding points program, all from a bank you know and trust. Visit your local Poca Valley office to apply or call us. Poca Valley, where relationships matter. Member FDIC.
My name's Chris Miller. I'm president of Dutch Miller Automotive. Jarrett Construction completely renovated and helped redesign Dutch Miller Kia in South Charleston. The fit and the finish and the quality of the project is exceptional. He has an attention to detail and an eye for that kind of stuff. You always want to give your best to your customer. It's just as important to him as it is to you. If you're ever looking to build anything, I'd call Jarrett Construction because you know exactly you're going to get something excellent every single time.
Call on Jarrett Construction.
Hey guys, it's Jim Strawn for Bankers Life, and it's that time of year, time to review your prescription drug and Medicare plan. Most folks find choosing the right Medicare plan very, very confusing. Our Bankers Life team of financial professionals can help you navigate and choose the right plan this annual election period. So don't wait and don't worry. Contact us. We can help. 304-757-4134 or dennis.harmonson@bankerslife.com.
Welcome back to the show. It is 9:21. Piggly Wiggly hotline 304-345-5858. Tony Taylor text 304-935-500. Text says, okay, I'm not trying to be rude or anything, but how is this possibly a sport when people claim that things like cheerleading or marching band are not considered sports? How is this a sport? Because it's competition. And I think all those things that you mentioned, Texter, cheerleading, marching band, I think they're all considered sports. Esports is the fastest growing competitions in the country. And when universities like Concord University have esports teams, yeah, I call it a sport. I really, really do. And it's not necessarily my thing. I'm the kid that grew up in the 1970s that didn't play video games. Okay. I'm the only kid on my block in my neighborhood that didn't have an Atari. Okay. I'm talking, that's how old I am. But it's huge. And what I like about it is the fact that it's going to bring all these people into Charleston. It's going to put people in hotels. They're going to spend money. And they got people from Chile coming in. All right. So I appreciate the text, but yeah, it's 100% of sport. And the other things that the texter mentioned are sports as well. I messed up the schedule a little bit. I said Delegate Hollis Lewis was next. He's actually a little bit later on in the show. And so, Hollis, if you're driving in right now, that's on me, buddy. Don't speed to get here because you're actually coming up later on. I got my schedule mixed up. But Dave Allen Show on 580 Live is brought to you part by Pinnacle Consultants. Their lead paint inspection and risk assessment service is designed to identify and to assess the presence of lead-based paints in buildings and other structures using a three-phase approach of inspection, sampling, and lab analysis, and an assessment report too. Check out pinnaclecorp.net because what you don't know can't hurt you. My buddy, now Joe Stevens from the city of Nitro is here. Good morning, sir. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, David. How are you doing? I think if you and I played offense for any team, we could score points on our Cowboys.
Well, we just picked up this player from the Jets, and I had Mike Pushkin on the show yesterday, State Democratic Party chair and delegate. But Pushkin's also about the biggest New York Jets fan I've ever met. Actually, I think he may be the second New York Jets fan I've ever met in my entire life. And he was lamenting the fact that they let Sauce Gardner go, and they also let the defensive lineman go that the Cowboys picked up. I at this point, as a Cowboy fan, Joe, and I know you're as big a fan as I am, I'm saying, what's Randy White doing these days? I mean, can we get the Manster out of retirement? I mean, where's Leon Letts? Where's any of these? Charles Haley? Bring them back in because we need help.
Yeah. And that's all I got to say about
That's all you got to say about that. Let's talk about Waggin Tails and Nitro Ales this Saturday. Talk about it.
Coming up this Saturday, the event itself will be from 10 until 4. The chili tasting starts at 11 o'clock. We will be lined up with chili cooks and vendors and all kinds of neat things from 21st Street all the way down to 19th Street along 2nd Avenue, right there at Living Memorial Park. Things will get underway. The weather is going to look like it's going to hold out for us. I know we're going to have some rain tomorrow, but for Saturday it looks like cloudy and some temperatures that will abide for getting out and having some fun. We'll have some food trucks. We'll have some the adult beverages, as we say, will be flowing for the event. But, it gets underway at 10 o'clock, and we'll be going until about 4 o'clock.
Yeah, and it's always a big event. How many years has this been going on, Joe?
It's been going on, this Wagging Tails. This is getting close to 15 years now. And a few years ago, we combined it with the Smoke on the Water Chili Cook-Off. Jen Piercy and her folks, we combined the two, but now it's the Wagging Tails and Nitro Ales, and it brings folks out, and they have a good time. It's great fellowship, and just a fun time walking around. And it also, Dave, as near to heart, we raise money for some really, really important groups that serve the area. First off, we have the hospice care. They will be selling all the dog bones that are used for picking the People's Choice, and all the proceeds from the People's Choice category that they raise money for go straight to hospice care. And then also all the proceeds from the beverages and some of the vendors kick in will go to West Virginia Canine Search and Rescue and the Putnam County Animal Shelter. They'll be on hand, it's a great time to raise some money for some great causes.
Indeed it is. We're talking to Joe Stevens from the city of Nitro. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live is brought to you in part by Live Healthy West Virginia, presented by WVU Medicine, a podcast promoting healthier lifestyles in and beyond the state. Check out the latest episodes, WVMetronews.com, under the podcast menu. And when we talk about the chili at this thing, and last year I have attended the event in the past, but I had never been as big a part of it as what I was last year, and I'm planning on being a big part of it this year, but thanks to Joe Stevens as well. This is serious biz with this chili. I mean, this is an officially sanctioned international, what do you call it, International Chili Cookers Association?
Chili Society.
The Chili Society.
Chili Society.
This is an officially sanctioned event.
Exactly. We have 3 categories, along with People's Choice, of course, but we have 3 categories that cooks will be vying for a spot in the 2026 World Championships. Those three categories being your home style, which is what Dave Allen cooks up for his Super Bowl party, which one day he and I will attend together and watch the Cowboys win their fifth championship. But that's another story for another time.
Yeah,
but
really.
It's the home style competition, and then we'll have the birdie competition, which is green chili, and we also have the traditional red. And the significance of the traditional red, no beans or filler or pasta or anything of that nature will be in that chili. So the three winners of those three categories will be representing the city of Nitro, the Wagging Tails and Nitro Ales Chili Cook-Off at the World Championships in 2026. So there's a lot on the line. And the neat thing about it is this cook-off is occurring just a few weeks after the World Championships were held in October. And so this is one of the first cook-offs that they will be able to contend for a spot in the 2026 World Championships.
And last year, thanks to my good friend Joe Stevens, I was asked to be a judge, and I have judged chili competitions over the years. I've done other food competitions. Just did mac and cheese this past Saturday at Capitol Market. Prior to your event, I'm going to be back at Capitol Market for the Biscuits and Gravy Bowl. It is rough to be me because I got to judge biscuits and gravy in the morning, and then I got to do chili in the afternoon. But I will say this about the way that you do it. I don't want to give away too much here. I mean, when it comes to judging in a officially sanctioned chili contest, Joe, this is not just, okay, everybody, all right, let's take a bite and move on. I mean, it is synchronized, for lack of a better term, Joe.
It is well organized. We have a judges meeting. We go over some criterias and that sort of thing. And Dave, it's funny because you've seen me hold the judges meeting before.
Oh yeah.
And I'll ask questions, and I'll actually have people. I'll ask a question: does anybody here not like the chili? And I'll get people in years past say, "Yeah, that's me." Well, why are you here?
Yeah.
I want the free beer. Well, we don't have free beer.
No.
See you later.
No.
Or they'll say. We used to have a vegetarian competition. We don't have that anymore, but I'll have somebody say they're a vegetarian. I'll pick around the meat. No, I don't think so.
It doesn't work that way.
And we move on. But yes, it is. It is. All the judges go through a judges meeting, and we get the criterias, and then it's a pretty quiet thing, and
it is.
It's not an eating; it's a tasting, and it's a judging.
Yeah, and that's the way it works. And I mean, you locked us all, you sequestered us all in a room last year. I don't remember how many judges there were, but there were several. And I mean, it's like you take a bite, you get a different spoon after every bite. There's no beer or soda, no double dipping, no beers or sodas or anything like that. Everything's got to be water. There's no nothing added to it. No cracker, because again, as you said, you're not there to eat. Okay, you can eat later. You're there to taste. And how many did we have last year total? Because I know we have a different categories.
We had 22. We had about 22.
And how are we looking for this year?
And I'm about the same number, but like one cook could be in all three categories.
Yeah, sure. And you have people coming from all over for this thing because it's an internationally sanctioned event, and there will be a lot of people from the Kanawha Valley there, but there's going to be people coming from far away to be there to enter their chili because
Kentucky,
it is
Ohio, Virginia, Maryland. They're all coming. They're coming. But Dave, as we've been talking, yes, it is a chili cook-off, and that's the mainstream theme of the day. But we got some other cool stuff going on. In fact, we're going to have a professional wrestling match going on from 12 until 1 on 21st Street. The local wrestling folks are going to be vying for the chili belt. So we will be having that. That'll be going on right in front of the Nitro Antique Mall on 21st Street. And we also have a RC car competition that will be taking place on 21st Street, and that's from the folks at the Pit here in Nitro. They will be having I saw them out there on 21st Street yesterday building the ramps and everything. So a lot of things happening, a lot of fun, and just a good time to be had by all.
What if somebody says that they don't like chili? Okay, number one, they're godless communists. Okay, there's that. But if somebody says, I don't like chili, but Are there other food items available there? I know the answer, but go ahead.
Oh, yeah. We've got a couple food trucks that will be on site, Coal Miner's Daughter, and we have another group, the Moonies, and that's Philly steaks and wings, and American Water will be having their truck down here giving away water for people to cleanse their palates if the beer isn't something that they want to do. But we've got the beer truck right there, and just a fun time. And we also have the zoology zone. You being from Putnam County, you know exactly what I'm talking about there. Yeah. They were there at Valley Park in Hurricane there and along Taze Valley Road. Zoology zone will be here, and I tell you what, when we had them here for Boomtown days, I found my running partner, the Turtle.
The Turtle.
He was still faster than me. He was still faster than me.
The gentleman that runs that, I've had him on the show before, and he just does a fantastic job with that, and he brings some of his different animals out to different events, so on and so forth. I just think it's great. And again, if you want to come out, and obviously if you are going to have the chili or get something from the food trucks or whatever, you're going to pay for that. But if you just want entertainment, you could come out there and take in all this stuff for free.
Exactly. And at the end of the day, if you are tasting chili, remember you are donating to hospice care. And then also if you're enjoying the other parts of the event, you're donating to the West Virginia K-9 Search and Rescue and also the Putnam Animal Shelter. So it's a good thing. One little bit of competition that's going on is between the Nitro Fire Department and the Nitro Police Department. The Police Department actually won last year, breaking a 3-year winning streak of the Fire Department, but they're going at it again this year. So that'll be fun too.
If the people want to enter the chili competition, can they still do that?
It's kind of getting down to the nitty gritty.
Okay, that's why
we're seeing the events on Saturday. They can go online, and there's at the Waggin Tails and Nitro Ales site. There's some information, but it's getting down to the nitty gritty.
Right? Yeah, I completely understood. Explain how the ticketing works. Somebody comes up, they bring the family, and they want to sample some chilies. How does the ticketing work for this?
They will go to the booth that is operated by the volunteers and staff of the hospice care. And you will buy a bag. I'm forgetting the cost of the bag of bones, but you'll buy a bag of bones, and then you'll go around to each booth that's got their chili ready and everything, and you'll get a taste of the chili. And you can use the bones that you purchased to vote for the chilies that you like. And at the end of the day, we see who's got the most bones, and they win the People's Choice.
And that's how it works. And you got vendors of all kinds there. I know you had folks peddling their wares of all kinds there, not just food-related, all other vendors as well. Give us the time and the location of everything that's happening Saturday. Then I want to ask you one other question about another event you got going on. But give us the time and the place and everything for Saturday.
Well, okay, we'll be going from 21st Street to 19th Street along 2nd Avenue. If you're coming, I recommend going up 19th Street, maybe parking there and walking through, or coming up 22nd Street and parking there. The time we get everything underway, Randy Dameron is providing the entertainment again, and he'll start at 10 o'clock. The chili tasting itself will start at 11 o'clock. And we'll go and we'll have the awards at 4 o'clock. And it's right at if you Google or go to Google Maps or whatever and put in Nitro Living Memorial Park, it'll bring you right to us.
All right, I'll be there as soon as I get done eating biscuits and gravy over at Capitol Market. How's that?
Bring me an order.
All right. Before we let you go, seriously, next week is Veterans Day, and this is the city of Nitro is a city that was born out of the military, and we've talked about that extensively on the show in the past. So what do you got going on next week for veterans?
Well, on Monday, we will have our annual Veterans Day observation/celebration. It'll be occurring at 5 o'clock. We always do it the day before Veterans Day because throughout Kanawha Valley there are quite a few parades and other celebrations. So we do ours on the 10th. And, you say Nitro was born because of the military, yes, but everybody in Kanawha Valley throughout always are stand-up for the veterans, and we're happy to do that. But on the 10th, starting at 5 o'clock, right at the Nitro Veterans Memorial, the War Memorial, right there at First Avenue and Bank Street at 21st Street. If you've been through Nitro, you see the flag court of 13 flags. And right there, we will have an observance and a celebration. The keynote that starts at 5 o'clock. The keynote speaker this year will be Ryan Kennedy. He is the Secretary of Veterans Assistance Affairs for the state of West Virginia. He will be our keynote speaker. But something really in addition this year is we had a lifelong resident of Nitro pass away recently. And in her estate, she gave $40,000 not only to the Nitro Public Library, but $40,000. She willed $40,000 to the Wounded Warrior Project, and we have a representative from the Wounded Warrior Project will be with us for this event and everything, the celebration of Veterans Day. And we will be presenting the Wounded Warriors Project $40,000. So that'll be going on. We've got so that's all right there, starting at 5 o'clock on Monday. Weather, we're not worried about it. We'll be under a tent and that sort of thing. So come on out and help us celebrate the veterans here in Nitro.
All right, Joe, it's always a pleasure to talk to you, and looking forward to seeing you and having some chili on Saturday after I've had my biscuits and gravy. So yeah, I did both. People say, how did you do both? Well, you're not exactly chowing down on it, just like with mac and cheese last week. You're just taking one bite. And then when it's over, then you can go back and get your favorite. But looking forward to seeing you on Saturday, my friend. Thanks a lot.
You're quite welcome, Dave. And one thing for sure, the Cowboys will not lose this week.
Yes, that's right. We got the bye. I appreciate you being here, Joe. Thanks a lot. All right, thanks a lot. Joe Stevens from the city of Nitro. And while we're talking, real quick before we go to break, about veterans things, I wanted to let you know something that we are doing here. And you've heard me talking about it. You may have heard the promos on the air as well. Veterans have really given so much. And now we're going to ask you to give back with words that matter. You can call our text line. I know that sounds weird to say call our text line, but hear me out here. If you call our text line, 304-935-5008, you can record a message of thanks for veterans that you love. And we're going to be recording those. We'll be putting them all together and sharing them on the air throughout the month of November as part of our Salute to Veterans presented by Toyota Motor Manufacturing of West Virginia. And you can also submit your stories at WCHSnetwork.com. It doesn't necessarily have to be a long, drawn-out 2 or 3 page thing, okay? It could just be, my dad served at this particular time, and I want to honor him, my son, my daughter, whatever the case may be, whether it's wartime, peacetime, it doesn't matter. We all support our veterans here, and the folks at Toyota Motor Manufacturing of West Virginia certainly do as well. So, again, you can call our text line, and it'll give you the option to leave a message there, 304-935-5008, or you can go to the website, WCHSnetwork.com. Let your gratitude be heard this Veterans Month from the Voice of Charleston, WCHS, and the folks at Toyota. 20 minutes away from 10, Delegate Hollis Lewis, that is, coming up after this on the Voice of Charleston, WCHS.
Are you looking for a technical job in the medical field? Generations is growing and looking to add on job-trained physical therapy techs to our rehab team. To apply, visit one of our 7 convenient locations or simply click on us at generationspt.com.
Tired of your floors looking like 1980? Then head on over to Nitro Carpet and Design Center. With West Virginia's best selection of carpet, tile, hardwood, and custom flooring, your home can transform from drab to fab. Plus, with design support, installation, and financing options, it's easier than ever to turn your home into fabulous. Visit Nitro Carpet and Design Center, right off the interstate at New Goff Mountain Road in Cross Lanes. Go from drab to fab. Visit nitrocarpet.com today.
At Toyota, supporting our nation's heroes isn't just a promise, it's a purpose. Through the Toyota Veterans Association, over 1,500 members nationwide provide mentorship, advocacy, and career pathways for veterans transitioning from service to success. Right here in West Virginia, Toyota proudly honors our fallen through the Gold Star Mother's Apple Orchard, a living memorial for reflection and remembrance. And our commitment continues, supporting local heroes, families, and foundations that make our communities stronger. Toyota, driven to serve those who served us.
They don't just offer firearms and a safe place to shoot. Bear Arms Gun Range is this week's 50-50 Friday. At Bear Arms, they offer an experience, a chance to learn, grow, and enjoy shooting in a safe environment. They have experts to guide you every step of the way, plus an attached barbecue restaurant. Visit Bear Arms in Huntington today. Friday at 9 a.m. Go to WCHSnetwork.com and click the 50-50 Friday button to get 50% off gift certificates for Bear Arms, courtesy of the WCHS family of networks. Thank you to our WCHS Game of the Week broadcast boosters for their support this season. Trojan Landing Marine and Power Sports, Edward Jones, Brett Harper, Caldwell Insurance Agency, Family Care Health Centers, and the Kanawha County Public Library.
The latest in news, talk, and sports when 580 WCHS is brought to you by Jarrett Construction. Call 304-344-9140 for more information.
Right on time, right on budget. Call on Jarrett Construction.
9:43, the Dave Allen Show and 580 Live is brought to you part by your hometown baseball team, the Charleston Dirty Birds. The Salango Law Light tonight returning to the ballpark at the Go-Mart Ballpark November 21st. It'll run through the first of the year. Check out your tickets. Get your tickets in advance. Please get them in advance. Visit dblighttonight.com. Delegate Hollis Lewis is here. How you doing, my friend?
I am doing well. Thank you for having me on.
Thank you for being here. So a couple of things I wanted to talk to you about. First of all, Democrats, several of them, and yourself included in some of these, I think, have been having these kitchen table events throughout West Virginia, throughout the state, Charleston, Huntington, Gilbert, Flatwood, just to name a few. Are there any more of those scheduled, or is the tour over now?
Well, the tour officially wrapped up, but we're going to have a couple additional stops here in the next couple months, so we're in the planning phases for those.
Okay, all right. So what was your takeaway from all this?
It was excellent. It was just our opportunity to get out in front of West Virginians, to hear what they have to say, and also, give them our agenda and see points of where we can collaborate, points of where we are deficient, in which we can add to what we plan to do in the next session.
And I've talked to, I'll give you an example. I talked to Amanda Barron, who was the moderator, the one in Charleston and Huntington, and she said you wouldn't think that some of the issues were the same, some of the issues were different in the different communities. And I know when you went to these other areas, they certainly were, like when you went to Gilbert and places like that. So, but there were a lot of similarities as well.
Yeah, it's a lot of similarities. People are, suffering from the same thing. When we talk about education, when we talk about childcare, when you talk about things that's going on in the SNAP. So, as much as we are different in these different communities, we are dealing with similar issues.
You mentioned SNAP, and I'll just jump down to that right now with the partial government shutdown going on. SNAP benefits ended for many Americans, 16% of the population in West Virginia on Saturday. And there's been this back and forth. Okay, and the state has stepped up, the guards involved, and so on and so forth. But the bottom line is there's still some hungry people out there, and I think, and I said this on midday yesterday, Hollis. It goes to show you West Virginians and how we are, because we step up. We step up without having to be told. We're like, okay, what do we got to do to help people? And we're doing it. We're going to talk to a business owner in the next segment who's doing that exact same thing. But it's a very unfortunate situation. Because of a dysfunction, this is me talking, not you, because of a dysfunctional system in D.C.
Well, I would ditto that. Anytime and again, what's going on as far as the government shutdown, they're trying to work it out. You have different sides of, advocating for different things. But bottom line is that there should be no situation, I don't care if it's a government shutdown, if the Dems calls it, the Republican calls it, where people have to go hungry. Because I'm a person with lived experience. I grew up on SNAP benefits. We used to call them food stamps back in the day. And by the 25th, 26th of the month, you're running out of food, and you're stretching that last week in order to, have your SNAP benefits hit so you can, replenish your pantries. In addition with that, when you talk about November being Thanksgiving, the holidays coming up, people are going to be stretched thin. And when you talk about a state like West Virginia in particular, you mentioned 16% of the population, and also 25% of our population is living in what was considered a food desert. So to get that access to food is an additional cost, when some people have to travel up to 45 minutes to go to a grocery store. And so when you mix all these things in addition to the rising costs of everything, it just creates a bad situation. And we have to do what's necessary in order to feed our people. West Virginia House Dems, we're calling on the governor to have a special session to see how we can help fund those people who don't have SNAP benefits this month.
Do you think there's a lot of support for the governor to bring the legislature back in?
Well, I would hope it would be. You know, I can't speak for everybody, but I know on our side, we're definitely advocating for that because we have to do this. This is, you know, in no circumstances, when we talk about food, shelter, clothing, healthcare, education, these are non-negotiables. This is things that, you know, we're living in the richest country in the world that we should be able to provide with no problem, regardless of whatever else is going on.
Talking to Delegate Hollis Lewis, Democrat out of the 57th. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live is brought to you in part by Bridge Valley Community and Technical College. Insurance agents are in demand in the state and across the country. Bridge Valley can help you take that first step. Their insurance pre-sales licensure course will prepare you to sit for the state-required property and casualty insurance licensure exam to start your career in this ever-growing field. Check out bridgevalley.edu for details. Bridge Valley, your career starts here. All right, so Tuesday, we're 48 hours away, actually less than that, when the polls closed in a lot of these states. Virginia, New York, and so on and so forth. And there were some surprises, but in some cases not surprises. It was a good night for the Democrats.
Yeah,
talk about that.
I mean, again, it was definitely a good night, something that I think we needed. And I think it's indicative of what people are, you know, sort of the sentiments that are changing. Like, we have to have policies. We have to have leaders that are going to truly put the American people first, not whatever agendas, not this corporation, not billionaires. It has to be a people first agenda. And I think that's what we saw the people go out and vote for.
I think the word that was bandied around a lot, we talked about it, the guys on Talk Line did, was a simple word, Delegate, and it was affordability.
Yeah.
And that's what we saw. And look, you know, some of the states, somebody pointed out, and they're correct in doing this, point out, well, you know, some of these were blue areas. On the whole, you can say some of these states were, but when you break it down into the individual areas, some of the reddest areas, some of the reddest counties, if you will, on Tuesday went blue.
Yeah, and the fact of the matter is, just because you're in a blue state or a blue area, that doesn't mean that a Democrat is automatically going to win, right? We've seen New York City had record turnout. So people are not only voting, but they're coming to the polls with being intentional about how they vote. And just when we talk about affordability, just going back to SNAP for a second, what we got to realize is that 60% of the people, and this is a nationwide stat, that are on SNAP are working. And to maybe a Republican's point, they may say, you may hear that and say, well, why do they need SNAP? But the question that you have to ask is that, why do they need SNAP? In that the companies that they are working for, they don't pay them enough to be able to afford food. Think about that. Think about a person working 40 hours a week, doesn't have enough money at the end of the month to not only pay for rent and living expenses, but to pay for food. And they have to get government assistance to supplement that. So when you talk about that affordability, I believe we have a cultural problem, and we have to reexamine like kind of what we're doing and where we're at, because people shouldn't have to work 3 and 4 and 5 jobs in order just to live.
Delegate Hollis Lewis, always a pleasure to have you on the show, my friend.
Thank you, my man.
All right.
I appreciate you.
All right. It is 9:50. We're going to take a break and be back after this on the Voice of Charleston, WCHS.
Brought to you by the Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses. Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses care for your family.
Let's be honest, that holiday list isn't going to get any shorter this year. Luckily, a Christmas loan from Members Choice, West Virginia Federal Credit Union, can help you mark off all of those holiday must-haves. Borrow up to $1,500 with rates as low as 7.99% APR and up to 10 months to pay it back. So go ahead, wrap the gifts and deck the halls, because making the season bright shouldn't break the bank. Apply now at memberschoicewv.com. Loans are subject to credit approval. Additional restrictions may apply.
Retirement isn't a finish line, it's a new beginning. But are you really ready? I'm John Burdett with 4th Avenue Financial, and I help people just like you turn confusion into confidence. Whether retirement is 5 years away or right around the corner, now is the time to make a smart plan. Let's make sure your retirement income lasts as long as you do. Call today or visit 4thavenuefinancial.com. 4th Avenue Financial. Retirement done right.
Securities offered through J.W. Cole Financial Incorporated, member FINRA SIPC. Advisory services offered through J.W. Cole Advisors Incorporated.
According to Feeding America, over 7 million seniors nationwide were food insecure in 2022. West Virginia is no different. Hi, I'm Jason, President and CEO of Union Mission Ministries. For 113 years, Union Mission has focused on helping people in need. Right now, our senior citizens need our help. That is why Union Mission is partnering with local senior living facilities to get food delivered directly to those in need. Will you help us reach more seniors? Visit unionmission.com to learn more.
I'm John Carruthers, the owner of Best Virginia Heating and Cooling. I'm born and raised right here in West Virginia. I've got 3 daughters, so I absolutely care who comes into my home. Every technician we send to your home has been drug tested and background checked. I guarantee the best client experience or your money back. We have the best team and the best processes built around a 5-star experience. Call Best Virginia today at 681-655-1214.
Welcome back to the show. It's 8 minutes away from Tampa Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you in part by Morgan & Morgan. With more than $20 billion recovered, they believe when you're injured, you deserve more. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. You know, lots of folks are doing their part to try to feed others during this partial government shutdown and the loss, at least for now, the SNAP benefits. Corey Shamblin is the owner of Gaming Paradise in Cross Lanes. He joins us now. Good morning. Welcome to the show, sir.
Hey, it's a pleasure having me here. I appreciate you guys having me on this morning.
So what exactly are you doing with your place? It's called Gaming Paradise in Cross Lanes. What are you doing up there?
Yeah, so we have a food pantry. I call it a food drive, but we're having a food pantry open at our store every single day from 11 to 7. You could donate or you can pick up any items that you're needing. It's open every single day. We're just trying to make sure that the community is being fed.
What kind of items are you looking for?
So we're looking for non-perishable food items. We ask that those are donated and not monetary cash because we're already making multiple trips to the store, so it just helps me out not make one more trip. So we would appreciate non-perishable food items.
Non-perishable just makes it a lot easier, again, for you guys. What's the response been like so far?
So we're helping out anywhere between 100 to 150 families, it seems like a day. So the response has been incredible. We've had a lot of donations already pouring through, and then we're also filling up a truck bed full of food every single day, and we're putting it out for donation as well. So we're trying to do as much as we can to make sure people eat.
Talking to Corey Shamblin again from Gaming Paradise to Cross Lanes. I'm going to let you talk about your business a little bit. So tell me about Gaming Paradise.
Yeah, so Gaming Paradise, what we have here is we have retro video games, current video games like PS5 and Xbox Series. We've got comics. We got TCG like Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh!, Digimon. We've got vinyl records, CDs, DVDs, Blu-rays, VHS. And we also do meet and greets with famous people. Like on November 23rd, we're bringing Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows, the Good Brothers, to do a meet and greet. So we're always doing something in the community.
Throw out your Facebook page or website or anything like that.
Yeah, it's gamingparadisegames.com. If anybody's interested around the state and wants to shop with us, we do ship all over the world. And then our address, if you guys want to come and check us out in person, is 5508 Big Tyler Road in Cross Lanes, West Virginia, 25313. And we'd love to see everybody out there.
All right, Corey, congratulations on your business, and glad that you're doing good things for the community and giving back, man. I appreciate you being here. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, thank you for having me on, and God bless everyone.
All right, 9:55, a Dave Allen Show on 580 Live is brought to you in part by Fresh Air Filters of Tays Valley. Fresh Air, your trusted filter experts for both your home or business. Call 304-440-1104 or check out freshairfilters.us because everyone deserves fresh air. We do want to remind you that if you'd like to donate, there's so many people that are doing things right now. I mean, so many. To try to help out folks in need. You can go to our website, wvmetronews.com, and you're going to see an icon on there. It's a QR code, I should say, where you can click on that and you can donate to either Facing Hunger Food Bank or the Mountaineer Food Bank simply by scanning that QR code on the front page of wvmetronews.com. WVRC Media cares about the community. Biggly, Piggly, Wiggly hotline 304-345-5858. Tony the Taylor text 304-935-500. Wait, let me knock out a couple texts before we close it out. Text says, "Hey Dave, my child's school put up the West Virginia government mandated In God We Trust signs. This is the water warming up in the boiling frog metaphor. Next, we'll be saying the government mandated prayer. Why are the people of West Virginia in support of this constitutional violation? Do West Virginians not abide by the Constitution? No hate for religion. Just don't use the government to impose your religious beliefs," says a texter. Text says, originally because of his tariffs, Trump said the poor kids can do with 3 toys instead of 20, but now the poor kids have to make do with 1 toy because the rest of the money will go to food. God bless America, says a texter. Text says, Dave, Florida guy here. There were no surprises in the election. More media hype and fake news, this time on the radio. Democrats won in blue states as expected. No Republicans lost that were expected to win. It's real simple. It's not that simple. Because what I was talking about earlier is, yes, indeed, Democrats did win in blue states. However, when you break down the counties that they won, that is, to me, what is very, very interesting. It's the counties in Virginia that Republicans lost votes in. That's what's interesting. I do appreciate the text, though. Text says, Dave, I can see what this guy's saying. It's a reference to Delegate Hollis Lewis. But I also have seen people on SNAP waste and spend a lot of money on cigarettes, vacations, alcohol, even a new car, says the texter. Well, there's going to be fraud and abuse in everything in life. And it's just part of it, unfortunately. Text says, are they taking baby and pet supplies also? I will check on that for you. Up at Gaming Paradise, but I'm going to say it probably wouldn't hurt. I don't know Corey personally. First time I met him was when I just interviewed him, but stop by, drop it off. Text says, a radical Islamic communist elected mayor of the city that saw the majority of the 2,977 innocent people lost in a matter of 102 minutes, a short 24 years ago. Notice the drastic change in his demeanor from his creepy, all smiles campaigning to how loud, angry, and confrontational, this is the mayor of New York they're talking about, his speech was on election night. So much for our vow to those lost souls and their families that we will never forget. Great job, New York. You just dug your own grave, says the texter. TJ Meadows is there. What are you doing, man?
I'm doing.
Right. What's on the big show today?
We've got the Hope CEO. It's going to be a big interview on that rate case settlement. I think they asked for 81, got 41. I'll tell you, my experience in that industry, a good deal when everybody gets screwed just a little bit. No, I'm serious. That's what I was taught.
All right.
That's a good deal. So we'll see if everybody got screwed a little bit, and that means it's a good deal. So we'll talk to him about that. Delegate John Williams from Monongalia County joins us, talk about funding. State put in $1.1 million for food banks. Should we have done more?
Okay.
Up front, should we have allocated more? Is this a reason with what we're going through to take a look at that allocation? We'll find out.
Wilson and Meadows coming up at Talk Line at 10:06. I'll be back later today with Metro News Midday with 13 News and Tonight Live anchor Amanda Barron and me, powered by Salango Law. On this show tomorrow, Angie Gillenwater from the Kanawha Charleston Humane Association. Talk a little high school football, more on the Biscuits and Gravy Bowl at Capitol Market on Saturday, and more on the 75 game, which is happening in Huntington with Marshall University. We'll have all that and more coming up on tomorrow's show. My producer, Ryan Nicholson, thank you so much, and thanks for jumping in there. I appreciate that on the gaming segment. We'll see you later today. Till then, have fun. Love somebody.
WCHS AM 96.5 FM Charleston and 104.5 Cross Lanes, a WVRC media station. We're proud to live here too.